Welcome to Bridges to Success, the podcast showcasing the transformative journeys from school to rewarding careers for young adults with disabilities, supported by the dedication of Bridges from School to Work. Today, we are privileged to have Mirna Velic, Director at Bridges to Work in Massachusetts in Boston. And Mirna's leadership has been instrumental in shaping the organization's success in Boston, connecting young adults with meaningful employment opportunities. Mirna, it's awesome to have you on the show today. Welcome.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Let's jump in and just kind of talk about your background. How did you get into this type of work and how did you get to Bridges?
Sure. Well, it was really sort of just happenstance. I was very fortunate to find Bridges at a moment when I was kind of in the middle of a career transition. I had just wrapped up a graduate school writing program, and was kind of looking for my next step. I had been in a different field prior, doing kind of administrative and marketing work for different companies, and was just kind of looking for my next step. And was always interested in working for a nonprofit or a service agency, to help people. I didn't have a specific background in disability or education or anything like that. And I just happened to find Bridges through a staffing agency I was working with, and they needed some help and were hiring for a temporary position. And I just went for it, not really knowing a whole lot about the organization. Interviewed in the Chicago office at the time with the opportunity again for I think it was a 6-month or 9-month project that they needed help with. And I just loved it. I mean, from the first day, it was really, really clear that this was an organization that was doing important work. I think within the first hour or two of my first day at Bridges, I was already working with some students who had come in for a job readiness club and doing interview prep with them. So just really dove right in and got some hands-on experience. And from there, it turned out that there was an opportunity later on for a permanent position, and I got it, having been working temporarily there for several months prior. And I just kept at it. I was an employment specialist, is the title we call it now, to start with, and eventually a few years in, moved up to the senior level, and last year had the opportunity to apply for the director position here in Boston. And so it's been really valuable to kind of see all the different levels, kind of work my way up and experience kind of the whole, range of experience that we have here at Bridges, and, the different levels of roles here. So that's kind of my story.
Yeah, you get to see a lot in your position, I bet, and be able to impact even more. And it seems like that's kind of a driving thing for you. I could see you light up when you talked about actually working with the students and getting in there. That type of work is critical. As somebody who's now in your leadership position, the goals are much different, I'm guessing, in terms of every day. Now, with your focus being so top level, where are your main focuses, and where do you try to spend your time?
That's a good question, because it has evolved from, when I was an employment specialist working directly with the students. Now I'm helping support those very people with their work. So my focus is on the team, our youth employment specialists and our pre-employment training skills specialists. So we have a pre-ETS program here in Boston, as well as the traditional Bridges employment services. So that's really my main focus, is working closely with the team, they're the boots on the ground, although I still go out in the field a ton and I love that I am able to do that. But really that and our partnerships, so our school partnerships and our employer partnerships are key because those drive the work that we do. Without the schools, we wouldn't have young people to work with. They are the key link between us and our young adults. And then without the employers, we wouldn't have jobs for them to be hired into. So really focusing on our relationships with our key partners and then the team itself, the Bridges team. So yeah, my day to day has changed a little bit. I do still get to work with students occasionally. This morning we had a group come in from a school here in Boston, a local high school brought a group of 11 students to learn about our program and get started, get signed up. So whenever those opportunities come up, I will always join my teammates in presenting because I, again, love meeting the students and sharing what we have to offer and, just giving them information about what's out there, whether they end up joining Bridges or not. So I
Yeah,
really try to work in that time, but also, yeah, I'm mainly focused on my team and then our partners.
it's really an incredible thing that you guys do. And having talked to so many incredible people at Bridges from School to Work, I can't say enough great things, and I can't advise people more to go to the website. If you are 17 to 24, or you have a loved one who's 17 to 24, and you want them to get a real true bridge from school to work, you're going to go to the website, bridgestowork.org. You're going to click the contact button and you're going to fill out the contact form. And someone from the team will be there. Bridges is currently available in 12 cities, but I've talked to the leadership and they said anybody who writes, if they have a need and they have a desire to work, they will help build a bridge. And I just think that's incredibly special. One other thing that I'm just blown away by is, and I was talking about this earlier with someone else, is the attention, the one-on-one attention. These kids come out of these schools, they don't have some of the basic knowledge of I need an ID, I need a bank account, here's how you have these things. And there's not many organizations that will drive someone to an interview, help them train. This is happening across the country with every person I talk to. They are doing this. That's
That's right.
crazy and cool. But
Yeah.
like that kind of that, I just don't think that I've never even heard of something where that level of attention is being given. And I just wonder if you could speak to that because I think it's so unique.
Mm, I agree. I mean, because, getting someone a job sounds pretty straightforward, but when you think about all the other things you need to just get hired somewhere to be successful, um, some students might need help navigating transportation or they might not have, the proper attire to wear to a job interview. So we really take all things into consideration when we're thinking about, the job search process. And then once you're hired, being successful on the job, there's so many other things you need to, so many pieces and parts that have to fall into place. And especially for someone first starting out, you might not have all those things or be aware of them. I always say, I wish I had a mentor like Bridges offers when I was in high school. And even though, you know, you could surely do it on your own, right? When you're that age, sometimes you think, "Oh, I don't need any help. I got this." And nowadays, applications, some of them are so simple that employers are trying to get people in the door really fast, and they've really pared down the process. I've seen applications where it's just a chat bot that you're typing in your name and your location, and next thing you know, they say, okay, come in tomorrow and you're hired, which is wild because that was never the case before. But okay, so that bit's easy. But then what about when you start working? Then all these challenges come in, and that's where someone like a Bridges employment specialist can help you navigate those things and make sure you keep your job and be successful. And Yeah, I mean, when I first started and heard about what we do, down to what you mentioned, driving someone to the job interview, really, there's a couple reasons behind that. And of course, we want the candidate to be there on time and make sure they're dressed professionally and have everything they need, their resumes, their ID. But when I was actually doing that work as an employment specialist, I found it was some of the most valuable time I spent with some of my participants was on the road, driving to an interview or an event or job developing. It was really usually because it was, just one on one and outside of the office, and something about being in a car and you're both kind of looking ahead. And sometimes more, it would let participants open up a little more in an interesting way. Like that was just one of those times when you're sitting in traffic or driving somewhere and you just start talking and yeah, it would help, especially on the way to an interview, kind of help reassure them. One less thing to worry about, I always say, is don't worry about how you're going to get there. I'll get you there. I just want you to focus and prepare and be ready for this interview. Ace it. And I think it might seem like a small thing, but I think it goes a long way to helping our participants make them feel supported and a little bit more confident on a day that can be super nerve wracking for them.
I think it's not a small thing just because it's the thing that no one does.
Mm,
It's that extra step. It's the thing that people take for granted, like you said, that little thing that we can get a car, we can grab an Uber, we can do blank, we can pay for a train. That is not everybody. That is
mm,
not the situation that
so
everybody
true.
has. And that's so I don't want to like say that that's a little thing. It's just it makes such a big impact, and you see it on these kids. I've talked to Fabi. I don't know if you've met Fabi.
Yes. Yes.
She's amazing. She goes into places and she like forces people to talk to them. It's like you're going to give this person a chance, and you
Right.
can't say no to her because she's so darn friendly and she's like a joy
Absolutely.
ball. She just is
Totally.
she's got such an energy. I love it. Um,
Totally.
that kind of stuff you can't get away from. So just appreciate everything that you guys are doing. And if you're interested, again, go to bridgestowork.org, hit that contact button. I want to talk a little bit about your key initiatives. What are you working on right now? What are your immediate goals? And what are some of the challenges that you're facing?
Sure. So yeah, our always top of mind is, recruiting more participants to our program, being able to serve more youth and help them on this journey. Because even though, Bridges is 17 and up, you have many years to do the program before you sort of age out or meet our max requirement. But once students leave high school, it's so much harder to connect with them. The time goes by, they've been out of school for a while, they're kind of maybe not in contact with their old teachers or the folks who were supporting them, giving them resources when they were in high school. And we're just always really trying to make sure we reach as many students as possible before graduation day each year. Because again, once you're out in the world, you might forget about these programs that are out there. So, really, literally, right now, that's what we're focused on because we're in first week of May. School here in Boston lets out kind of mid June. By like June 15th, 16th or so, most classes have wrapped up. Most students are on break. So we're always trying to reach as many as we can before the end of the year. Let them know that we're out here, that there's no deadline for them to enroll. You can start the program anytime. If you're ready to go right now, great. Maybe you got some plans this summer that are going to take you out of town or keep you busy, but you think, okay, maybe in a month or two I'll be ready. That's fine. And or if it's a year or two for now, as long as you are 17 to 24, you can join anytime. So that is always our key, is to expand, get into new schools and also connect with new employers and increase our sort of portfolio of partnerships that we have so that there's more opportunities we can connect our students with. And if, we do a lot of the traditional entry level jobs in retail, hospitality, food service, etc., but we're always on the lookout for other industries, other fields. It can be challenging because students sometimes really want a certain job. For example, in our presentation this morning with some of our students, they mentioned wanting to work in like digital media or the arts. And, we always encourage them to think about long term, like what are you interested in for a career, but understanding that some of those fields might take a little bit more training. You probably aren't going to land a job as a game developer right now. You can, go continue your education, get some more training to get to that level in the future. But what can we help you with entry level at the moment that you have the qualifications for, and that maybe might be related to that field that you're really interested in? So those are the things we're always kind of working on and growing and making sure that participants are getting good job experience for their resume and sort of reinforcing the fact that no matter where you start, you're going to learn important skills that will transfer to any career down the line. Your teamwork, your communication skills, just, showing up, understanding your job duties, and learning how to interact with people, that are different ages and different, whether it's customers, managers, just getting out there and really developing your people skills. As much as some students tell us, well, I don't want a job where I have to talk to anybody. That's not really realistic, even in this day and age. You have to be able to get out there and be a good communicator. So that is, again, another thing that we're always working on with our youth.
I think that's really awesome. I think there's a big opportunity for employers to open their minds a little bit, because I think disability has a negative connotation, but where there's a disability, there's usually a strong ability mixed in there. And
Mm-hmm.
we're opening our doors. I have a production company in Atlanta, and we're having a Bridges group down. I want to encourage other people to open their production companies and media companies, because I do think a lot of these kids have creative aspirations, and like there's no limits on, you don't have to have anything to be creative. You can just have a brain and
Right.
your mind. And there are people out there who have, diversity, inclusion, equity, all of that this is the entertainment media. I believe that there's a huge opportunity, especially in Boston. There's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
media companies in Boston, a lot of people. So I'm going to encourage people in Boston, media companies, step up. I want you to go to bridgestowork.org, and I want you to put your money where your mouth is and go to the contact form and fill it out. And you're going to meet some amazing kids, and even better, you're going to get to meet some of these amazing people at Bridges who are going to help bring you great kids for years to come, because this isn't a one-shot deal. They're not fly by night. This is 12 cities rocking hard, really working to change kids' lives, and you can make that difference. All you have to do is go to bridgestowork.org and fill out that form. To close out the show today, I want to kind of talk about, what can listeners do? People in the Boston area, students. What's a message to students, employers, and people in general about how they can help what Bridges is doing?
Sure, that's a great question. I think really just spread the word. We want as many people to know that we're out here, and we are, again, always accepting new participants. So if you know someone who is a young adult looking for a job in the Boston area who has an IEP, and wants free help with their job search and basically, a mentor for their employment journey, they should contact us. Just, yeah, getting the word out. And again, employers, I love that you just brought up and encourage them to visit our website, because no matter what industry you're in, or whether you're hiring right now or not, we would love to connect with you, because again, we work with so many students throughout the years. They have a range of interests, and it's just very valuable for us to connect with all kinds of employers, learn what's out there, and see if we can make a good match with one of our young people, as well as other agencies, any other organizations that work with young people. Please check us out. And if you have young people you're working with who have a disability, or again, want help finding a job, maybe that's not the service you provide, but we provide it. And we always love to connect with other organizations that specialize in different services that we don't do, things like housing or mental health, education, continuing education programs, training programs for things. Again, we're focused on entry level positions, getting that first step out of high school, but a lot our participants have longer term goals, and sometimes they want to break into industries that are going to need more training and education. So it's always great for us to learn what other vocational programs or secondary education is out there that can help our young people on their career path. So everyone just, spread the word, connect with us. Yeah, we'll do the rest. We just want everyone to know that we're here, and we want to know who else is out there that, again, we can connect our participants with, because when they do move on from the Bridges program, when they get that first job, they stay on there for a year. Usually it's around that time when we're getting ready to exit them out of our program, because we've done all the training we need. They've built up their work history. They're good. They're solid, but they're going to need a next step down the line. And we want to know what's available out there that we can connect them with so they can keep moving forward.
That's incredible. Mirna, if people want to get in contact with you, what's the best way?
Sure. You can go, again, right to our Bridges website. If you go to the locations page in Boston, my information is up there. So you can send me an email, you can give me a call, you can send a text. You can find that, again, right on the website. Or we also have, through our social media on our Instagram page, we have a Boston Instagram. I think it's, goodness, I should know this off the top of my head. If you look up Bridges Boston on Instagram, you'll find us, and you could send a direct message there too. And our team member who runs the page, she'll connect that or forward that on to me. But yeah, go to the website. You can find my email, send me an email, give me a call anytime. This goes for prospective students, parents or guardians who are interested and want to learn a little bit more, school staff, employers, community partners, everybody. Check it out, get in contact, and we'll see what we can do.
I love it. I want to thank our listeners for joining us today, and Mirna for taking time out of her day. Her engagement is so crucial to what's going on in Boston and around the country to help kids find meaningful careers. So thank you so much. I'd like to thank the whole entire Bridges from School to Work team and the Bridges to Success podcast team. We thank you for listening. We'll see you next time.